about how to study, how not to study, how to choose a guide, how not to choose a guide, how to be aware of what happens in the higher education. Everybody, welcome to Bio Library. People who are new, welcome to my channel. And here you will get a lot of information regarding higher education studies, also about PhDs and authentic books, which will be taught by me, of course, and study vlogs and a lot of things which you want to know regarding the reality of PhD. So yeah, let's get on. And the topic for today's video is 10 advices before getting started for your PhD. So this is very peculiar time for yourself. First of all, I'll say this is not one of the advice. This is telling you as a big sister that just don't rush for PhD. Uh, it's not a part of your formal education, just like BSc, MSc. No, it's not. Therefore, do not rush for PhD. Be very, very, very cautious before choosing either your guide or your institute. Okay, so let's start with the first advice for yours. So the first advice is ask yourself that you really want to do PhD. Okay, it's not for the sake of utilizing your fellowship, or I know financial constraint is real. Like if you don't have money, it's a real thing, right? So do not feel ashamed of the fact that you are or you want to enroll into PhD because of financial constraint. But I don't think that can be the sole reason based on what you can go for your PhD. मतलब सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल कंस्ट्रेंट या फिर फेलोशिप के आ जाने से या फेलोशिप आपको चाहिए इसके लिए आप पीएचडी के लिए नहीं जाएंगे. रियली आपके कोर से, फ्रॉम योर कोर, फ्रॉम इंटरनल, आपके अंतर मन से आवाज़ आती है दैट यू वांट टू मेक अ करियर इन दिस फील्ड, देयरफॉर यू आर गोइंग फॉर अ पीएचडी. ओके, सो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज यू रियली डू वांट टू डू अ पीएचडी. Okay, so second is very important, which I resonate a lot with. You do not have a settling mentality. What do I call it as settlement or settling mentality is the people who are, who want a 9 to 5 job, which is not at all bad. I mean, they are so clear. I am so proud of the people who say that they want 9 to 5 job, and they want time for themselves, they want space for themselves, therefore they want this 9 to 5 job. But if you are not one of those, because settlement is, again, everything we choose for our career comes or stems from the fact that we have a mentality and the kind of person we are. हम जिस तरीके के होते हैं हम वैसा ही करियर चूज करना चाहते हैं. So the fact that 9 to 5 settling mentality नहीं है, because PhD में you need to put a lot of hard work, you need to sometimes be in that zone only. तो वो 9 to 5 में ख़त्म नहीं हो जाती, stays with you till 5 to again 9, like from evening 5 to morning 9. So it's nothing that you can cut off from. Therefore, if you have a mentality that you want 9 to 5 job or you want 9 to 5 work and you do not want to take anything with yourself to your home or to your hostel room, therefore, if you resonate with the idea I told you, then do not go for a PhD. But if you don't, that is, you do not have a settlement mentality, you just love exploring and you can work on and on without compromising your health, of course, right? So go for a PhD. Third one is, you are, like, of course, this is important and you should affirm it to yourself while going to sleep. That is, you are ready to get grilled. PhD is something where you are trying to get you are trying to become a skilled person, and skill set ऐसे ही नहीं आ जाता. You need to acquire a lot of things. Apart from, हो सकता है you are able to study for prolonged hours, जो कि आपने एग्जाम निकाला है, then it is assured कि हाँ आप पढ़ सकते हो. But at the same time, if you're working in a laboratory, you need to have a skill set. Your work demands a skill set and skill requires time. Therefore, if you're ready to get grilled in the process of acquiring skill, and yes, mind you that while you're acquiring skill, जब आप कुछ सीख रहे होते हो, then आपके पास कुछ भी, you cannot see further, you cannot see where you're going, because वो progress is not a progress of 1 month, 2 months. Sometimes you take a lot of time. Say for example, you're making a clone, okay, and the time frame is like, it happens sometimes that you take 6 months to 8 months to get to the process completely done. Okay, so in that process many people are blurry and they start feeling that, okay, they are not doing anything. So why do I call this grilling? Because while you're acquiring a skill set, आपको कुछ नहीं आता, you're gonna be, what do I say, you're gonna be disastrous sometimes, आपसे होगा ही नहीं. And many people, especially including your guide, your seniors, can bog you down. They're actually not bogging you down, but at the same time they're telling you that you're not being able to do it. So do not, if you have that, no, I would say if you want to do it, you'll do it anyway. But if you are not ready to get grilled, आपको बहुत ही पीसफुल या बहुत ही एकदम स्मूथली चलने वाला टाइम पीरियड चाहिए, डू नॉट गो फॉर अ PhD. If you're ready to get grilled, which is a good thing because you are acquiring skill, and after sometimes when you will become a supervisor, you can, I will never say that you will grill the other person, I am saying that you will be able to impart the kind of pathways by which you have gone through. Say for example, आपके पास कोई एक ऐसा student आता है in future who you resonate a lot with, who is like you will be like okay, मैं तो ऐसे ही था, या मैं तो ऐसे ही थी अपनी PhDs में. तो for that person you can be a guide, you can be a real guide, you're a real torch bearer. So if you're ready to get grilled, go for a PhD. Then you have a fourth thing is you have a voice of yours. That is, you're capable of fighting for your rights, because in a laboratory that is a closed space where a lot of people work. Many a times your guide has 5 students, 6 students, or more than that under him or her. So what happens is it's a workplace जहाँ पे sometimes there is a person who becomes a leader, there's a person who becomes an extractor, there's a person who becomes an opportunist. So out of those you need to have your own identity. You should be able to speak up for yourself. Quoting an example of my friend where she was working in a cancer research institute, and the, not at all blaming to other people, do not take it personally, to all the seniors, with due respect, but there were so many seniors of hers who used to spoil her samples overnight. When she left her samples, say for example she left the lab at 6 in the evening, and when she comes back at 10, or any time like the other day, her samples were destroyed or spilled or were washed or were like eloped, somehow they were not there. So it also happens. If you're able to, she actually quit from there and she's working at a nice place right now. But at the same time, I'm telling you, if you have a voice of yours, please go for a PhD. And it is also not a sole reason, but you should have it in you that you are, capable of asking or speaking up for yourself, which is again a good, again a trait of a educated person. What is education? That is, we know what is right, what is wrong. Okay, so speaking up for yourself is again a trait which you should have as a PhD student. And then I will say it's not only about a PhD. When you jump into the ocean of PhD, it's about where you can see a future for yourself, not other people's can see it. That's why they ask, कब खत्म हो रही है, कब खत्म हो रही है. And you know it कि खत्म होने के बाद क्या है, you know it कि खत्म होने के बाद what is your roadmap, what is your plan. Okay, so if fifth one is, if you have a vision, then go for a PhD. If you can see beyond this PhD, beyond this degree, if you can see what is your reason why you started, you know everything. I can't say that you are clear and अभी से ही आप presume करने लग जाओ कि you will get position somewhere. Not saying that, but also you should know कि why you are doing PhD, आपको क्या करना है आगे जाके काम. Okay, that is, you should have a vision of yourself is one of the marketed characteristic of a person who is going for a PhD and will become a good scientist later on. Okay, so vision होना is very 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 important. And then कुछ थोड़ा सा ऐसी बात करूँगी which is intellectual. If you believe, like we all have a pattern, right? हम हमेशा से जैसे काम करते हैं, there's a quote saying कि the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. Okay, so if you are a person who believes in deep work, say for example you're given a single topic, and there is a student who comes up with 10,000 words, 10,000 like a lot of facts, like 100 facts about the topic, and a person who comes up with some, I would say 500 words. So this person is doing horizontal work, but this person is doing deep work. So if you believe in deep work, 6 point is, if you believe in deep work, then you are a good person, good candidate, more suitable for PhD. This again can be inculcated, guys. So please start believing in deep work, and please started owing less. Like less is more. Less is more, as in you have a topic, just start accumulating information around the topic. Just do not bifurcate from the topic every new month, because that's not how you're gonna do your PhD is all about one, not even a topic, it's about sub topic of a topic. Okay, subtopic and then a sub very minute. Say we are for example we are working if I'll talk about units, तो maybe हम nanometers में काम कर रहे हैं, या फिर we have like broken down the problem into a very 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 small sub problem, and then we are trying to find out the answer or the solution for that problem. So if you believe in deep work, go for a PhD. If you don't believe in deep work, then start believing in deep work. Okay. And the seventh one is a feature of maturity. I would say we all are grown ups. The moment we enter into PhD, somehow हम grown ups हो ही जाते हैं, because that is uh, maximum time आप खुद के साथ बिता रहे होते हो, तो we somehow become sorted. The seventh one is you're already sorted in the fact that you know what's happening around you, you know what's happening inside you. If at all, like for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, you get this prolonged feeling of quitting your PhD, go for it, guys. Quit your PhD, be very sorted. If you think that a new job, a new career is waiting for you, then please go ahead if you think you can make your name there. Okay, so if you're already sorted, I don't think आपको पीएचडी में कोई भी आपके रास्ते से हटा सकता है. रास्ते से हटाना एज इन कैन डिस्ट्रैक्ट यू. अब वो डिस्ट्रैक्शंस तो होते नहीं जो हार्मोनल डिस्टर्बेंसेस थे होते थे. यू नो व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, राइट? तो आपके डिस्ट्रैक्शंस होते हैं दैट यू थिंक अबाउट योर करियर, यू थिंक अबाउट कि आप कितना बड़ा कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन दे पाओगे. आफ्टर कमिंग टू दिस फील्ड आई एम टेलिंग यू, सब कुछ होगा. आप वेट करो, ये सारे थॉट्स आएंगे कि आपका कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है. इज इट लाइक कि आपने इतना पढ़ने के बाद यू वेस्टेड योर फेलोशिप, यू वेस्टेड, कभी कभी तो ये फीलिंग भी आती है, आर यू वेस्टिंग द रिसोर्सेज ऑफ द कंट्री. तो अगर यू आर सॉर्टेड अबाउट द फैक्ट कि आपको किसी भी चीज़ में इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, इससे ज़्यादा फॉर अ लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन, टेस्ट योर सेल्फ. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल अपने आप को 3-4 महीने का टाइम दे. 3-4 महीने में इफ़ यू विल डिसाइड कि यहीं रहना है या आई वॉन्ट टू डू समथिंग एल्स, प्लीज़ गो फॉर इट. क्योंकि वो जो टाइम पीरियड आफ्टर 4 years, आफ्टर 5 years जब आप जाओगे, तो ना ये जुनून रहेगा और ना ही वहाँ वाली चीज़ से आप छूट पाओगे. ओके, सो इफ़ यू आर ऑलरेडी सॉर्टेड, देन गो फॉर PhD. एंड येस, eighth one is very important, जिसकी वजह से I've seen a lot of students struggling in the process of PhD, which is you should have faith in your capabilities, you should have faith in your abilities that you can do this. Many times what happens is students ना underconfident होते हैं PhD में, because they think that हम तो they have come up from a like university or from a background जहाँ से वो resonate ही नहीं कर पाते कि इतनी जगह पहुँच गए कैसे. स्पेशली टेलिंग फॉर स्टूडेंट जो IITs या ऐसे बिग प्लेसेस टारगेट कर रहे हैं, तो हैव फेथ इन योर कैपेबिलिटीज़. मेनी टाइम्स विल बी टोल्ड कि यार ऐसा नहीं होता, या ये तरीका नहीं है या काम करने का. Remain silent, let your work speak for itself. Okay, so have faith in yourself is the 8th point. And yes, very important, पहले ही आपको क्या शुरू करना होता है. The moment you join your laboratory, you'll be told, you'll be asked that start reading literature. Telling you what? Learn to know how to read a literature. Learn to target the correct literature. बिल्कुल इधर उधर आपको नहीं भागना है, बिकॉज ये इतना प्लेथरा ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन, यू विल गेट ओवरवेल्म्ड बाय इट. कभी देखा आप एक न्यूज़ पढ़ते हो एंड देर आर रिलेटेड वीडियोज अबाउट दैट न्यूज़, देन देर आर रिलेटेड सिमिलर न्यूज़ अबाउट द न्यूज़. ओके, सो do not get overwhelmed by the plethora of literature which is available. Try to learn how to learn about the literature. Try to target specific literature. Okay, तो literature से overwhelmed नहीं होना है. And 10th one is you are not, अभी समझ नहीं आएगा ये, but you're not constantly chasing eureka moment. Eureka moment is something जब आप discovery कर लेते हो, and आप एकदम ही आप एक पीक पे पहुंच जाते हो एक्साइटमेंट की. तो कॉन्स्टेंटली उस मोमेंट को चेस नहीं करना है. इट हैपन्स. आई टॉक्ड अबाउट सेरेंडिपिटी इन इंस्टाग्राम. होता है, हो जाता है डिस्कवरीज में, बट कॉन्स्टेंटली यूरेका चेज नहीं करना है, तब आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाते हो अपने बात से. PhD इज ऑल अबाउट स्किल सेट. PhD इज ऑल अबाउट लर्निंग. इट्स अ डिग्री. यू नीड टू लर्न अ लॉट, you need to inculcate a lot of skills, but you do not need to become a so-called scientist. When I say so-called scientist, people start imitating other scientists. They will dress like a certain person, they will speak like a certain person. क्यों भाई? You have your original identity. हो सकता है बहुत सिंपल या बहुत ही ज़्यादा फैशनेबल साइंटिस्ट बन जाओ. That's your personality. That has nothing to do with other people. Okay, just because you have chosen this field doesn't mean आप idolize करो for sure, but copy मत करो. Okay, do not constantly chase your eureka. These were 10 advices from me, Manisha Sharma, who some time back has qualified this same exam you have qualified, and entered and jumped into the ocean of PhD, and I dived in and I took out these advices for myself, for you, and I hope you will follow these. And I love you people. Please go ahead and jo hoga dekh lenge. Okay, so thank you and keep watching.